And hello and welcome back
kids.
to the Dude Cast.
Yeah.
We are back. It is episode 16 of season 2.
Yep. Mm-hmm. In case you couldn't read.
case
Actually,
you
I
can't
guess it's
read.
not really on there. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
It's entirely possible that we may have illiterate people listening to our podcast.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
In which case, congratulations, you found the correct big orange button.
Yeah.
Or maybe the incorrect one, and now you're just stuck here.
Yeah, right. Some sort of weird podcast limbo.
Maybe you've clicked on the dreadfully wrong button and you have no idea who we are. We are the three dudes.
Yes.
This is our podcast. We drink and smoke and talk about a variety of things that are a surprise to those of us that aren't hosting.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
The host surprises us with the topic each week.
There's also a little side segment, too, that each host has that's specific to them.
That's
Yes.
right.
It's kind of like we're the Power Rangers. We have our own specialty. We have our own unique weapon. Except it's like humor.
It's like humor?
Quote, humor.
It's like this.
End quote.
It's like this thing called humor. I think the Greeks invented it, but it's basically
It's like where you wear a funny smiley mask.
there's rising action
Yeah.
and nudity.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, that's where the rising action comes from. You know what I'm talking about?
Anyway.
Yeah. Can I just say,
Yeah?
it's like a rainy, bleak kind of day.
Yeah.
I had a hard time getting out of bed today, and I just didn't feel like it.
Can't say is it blame you.
This is going to be at least on my end, is going to be like a slow kind of.
We're gonna ride like a chill vibe today.
Yeah.
We're gonna ride a
for
real
sure.
chill vibe today. I
At
think.
least until I wake the fuck up.
Yeah.
So.
I considered making coffee.
Yeah, you know what?
Then I didn't do that.
I'm like 5 cups deep today, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm still tired. So.
Well, that's why you're tired. Your body is like
Yeah.
freaking out.
I think I have like a sinusy kind of infection sort of thing. I had a little trouble sleeping last night. I don't know. I think I'm just like dizzy and out of it a little bit. So that's
just
probably
like
not
a
helping.
kind of vomitous
Yeah,
and
not vomitous.
it's a little delirious and sweaty.
Perhaps dazed and confused.
You got to go to the vomitorium, Mr. Megorium's Vomit Emporium.
His vomit emporium, vastly less popular.
than the Wonder Emporium.
Yeah.
So anywho,
Yeah.
Sorry.
So anyway, yes, I suppose it would be fair to venture a guess and say that we are fucked.
Yes.
somewhat,
Yeah, we're fucked. I think,
I think.
and that's it.
All right. Dead air.
Who wants to go first? Why are we fucked?
Well, I saw an example today.
Okay.
Well, I was getting smokes. In fact, not 2 hours ago, maybe even shorter than that. It calls to mind a trend I've been seeing a little in the news lately, where my thesis is the customer is an entitled child,
Yes.
until proven otherwise.
Correct.
It is best to assume that they're an entitled child until proven otherwise.
Correct.
You would usually be right.
There's that racist woman in Starbucks. There's that. There are a couple other things I've seen in the news, but just today I went to get these cigars, and this guy on my way out of the cigar room, I caught him arguing with the cashier because the smokes that he wanted were 5 cents more than what he expected them to be.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. And on his way out going, why the fuck do I still come here every fucking time?
I know. It's almost like those are set by the state,
Yeah, it's
and they
all-
have no influence whatsoever as to what the price is.
How upsetting is that? That they gotta take the crap, because of something out of their control. How fucking frustrating.
But also, like, a nickel, really?
Yeah.
You're gonna
Right. Moreover,
be a little bitch about a fucking nickel?
like nobody likes to pinch a penny like I do. Every person who is living below the poverty line likes to save money.
Yeah.
And they will tell you when they save money.
Oh yeah.
If some right, it's like Jen brought that up. It's like the Midwesterner thing. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, do you like this cool thing I got? I found it on Amazon for $60 off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
On sale.
Right. There's nothing wrong with that, but come on, a nickel.
Yeah.
Like I'll give you the nickel, you
Yeah.
fucking
I
asshole.
will give you one nickel to not bother these poor women.
Right. Who, if you've ever been to that Smoker Friendly, are great.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, they're nice.
Yeah.
They're cool. Yeah, so the customer is just an entitled prick, and that's why I like privately owned businesses, like much like the Smoker Friendly that's up there, because they can just kind of say like, "Shut up, fuck off."
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Don't come back then.
Yeah, I
Don't come
have
back
to,
now. You hear?
I don't have to sell you anything.
Right.
You're an asshole and you should leave.
Yeah, that's one of many benefits of being a privately owned business.
Yeah.
You can kind of treat problem customers the way you see fit.
Yeah.
Which is generally the correct way. If you kind of give in to them, it's like a child. They'll keep expecting that if they whine and stomp their feet enough, that the world must cater specifically to their needs, which is not how reality works.
Yeah, that's how we got here. It's just the idea of always letting the customer win all the time is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, the customer is basically always wrong. Like, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
If you
almost always.
If you've worked in a retail position, most of the people that come in that are giving you trouble are wrong. They are incorrect about something.
Yeah.
They may on certain things they may be correct, but on some level they are usually wrong about something.
Yeah.
First one being, if somebody comes in and they're arguing with somebody about something, 9 times out of the 10, they're wrong about that.
Yeah, right.
You shouldn't come in. You shouldn't approach anybody yelling and screaming and expect to get your way, because it usually doesn't work. At least not when I'm taking care of you. I'm immediately not going to help you.
Oh yeah,
Right.
no.
Right.
And in fact, most employees, like maybe not management, but most employees will go out of their way to not help you if you come at them like that.
Oh yeah.
It's a different story. I'll do everything for you if you're nice.
I think back on the days when I was at the grocery store, it was just if someone was a real shit to me,
Yeah.
and they made me go looking for something I knew we didn't have, I just sit there and watch my watch for
Couple minutes.
yeah, just really just kind of make it take a lot longer than it had to.
Yeah, right.
'Cause it's like, you're gonna be an asshole to me. All right, cool.
I'll make you wait.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy this tasty cola and not come back to you for a minute.
I think I told you about the guy who kept he was trying to get mulch from me at Mark's.
Okay.
And he called the store and he wanted to know what kind of mulch we had. First of all, he wanted to know what the prices were. So I went outside, told him the prices, and he's like, "All right, well, what brands are they?" And I'm like, I don't know. Let me go check. And I went out, and then he wanted to know what the net weight was of each bag. So I did that, and then I came back in.
Why don't you go fucking lift it and find
and
out?
I was thoroughly over it at that point. I'm on the phone with him, so I have to keep going all the way from the warehouse,
Yeah.
back outside, back inside with the information, and like talk to him. And so I'm on like the third time that I've done this, and I go in, and he's like, "Well, on the fourth one, after I told him what the weight was of everything, he's like, "Well, where was the mulch ground?" And I got fucking fed up. And I'm on the phone with him. I said, do you seriously want me to tell you where the mulch was ground at? And he's like, "Well, if you expect me to buy it, then yeah." I said, "I don't give a shit if you buy it." And I hung up on it. God almighty, it's $2 a bag. What do you fucking care, man? Like, God, people will go out of their way to be more difficult just because that's part. I have a theory that people a lot of people are just built with this gene that makes them want to be more difficult. They want things to go incorrectly so they can be an asshole.
I think honestly, it's kind of like they don't know how to deal with fucking being. They don't know how to deal with it when the world doesn't work their way, and so they take it out on what they see as part of the system, which is, could be the cashier, could be traffic, could be whatever. Yeah. And it's very similar to how like people who are abused end up going on to become abusers themselves. Right. Yeah. It's a toxic mindset. Unfortunately, it should be a lot easier to break like the being an asshole customer mindset, which is just don't.
Right.
And the way you strip power away from asshole customers is to not give them what they want.
Exactly.
If you're supposed to be able to do business in a civilized manner as a grown adult, and if you can't do that, then you don't get business done with you.
Right.
Yeah.
And that is I think the key part about small businesses is that if I own my own small business, if I think you're being an asshole, I'm going to tell you to fuck off and go away. Like if I understand things go wrong, but like there's a fine line there. And as soon as for me, it's when you start raising your voice to me. I'm good. Just don't raise your voice at me.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, I'm not going to help you. Like I've lost all the concern that I would have had is gone now.
Yeah, right.
Because you just ruined it.
Right.
You ruined it.
You ruined it.
Yeah. Sorry. I just kind of like blanked.
I
for
know,
a minute
man.
there.
I'm telling you, I'm like in this headspacey kind of.
Yeah, what's going on today?
I don't know. We're just worn out today. It's gonna be a very slow and low kind of.
Yeah, that's cool.
Little slow burny poo.
I got a why we're fucked for you.
Yeah, hit me.
This is fascinating to me. As if we didn't have enough proof that we live in hell in 2018. A giant sinkhole is now spreading on the white nut. It's not giant, but a sinkhole is spreading on the White House.
The white nut.
On the White House lawn.
You said the white nut.
White nut.
A giant sinkhole on the White House lawn.
There is a sinkhole spreading on the White House lawn.
Yeah, it's in Trump's head.
It's now literally it's like a couple of feet across, and a second one has started. So there might be like an enormous sinkhole that eventually swallows the White House.
You know, it wouldn't be the first time that thing's been destroyed, so.
Yeah, it's true.
That's fine.
The country deserves it and worse.
Yeah,
frankly.
right, yeah, it's fine.
It's just kind of funny, though. It's like, how appropriate is that? Like, a giant hole that might just swallow up the White House. Isn't that kind of appropriate?
Yeah, it is.
Isn't that, like, sort of seem perfect?
Yeah.
It's just a vortex to hell. It opens up right there.
Yeah. Or at least into DC's septic system, which,
I heard it's
Can it
pretty bad.
Can it do us a favor and swallow the Capitol's locker room too? Because that'd be great.
Oh my God, that's still going on. What is that tonight?
Tomorrow
night.
Tomorrow
Yeah,
night.
tonight-
Game 7.
Tonight would have been
That's right.
Game 6 between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Winnipeg Cats. Mm-hmm. But that is not happening because Vegas is moving on.
Only 5 games.
5 games.
For the semifinal.
You want to hear this? Vegas only lost 3 on their way to the Cup.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
shit.
They only
Yeah.
lost 3 games. Yeah. So they get a little bit of downtime. Incidentally, I think it starts on the 28th. So
Yeah.
the final.
We gotta start watching that. That's
Yeah,
gonna
man.
be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be good, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
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 Anyway, that's really just it for me.
Okay.
What do you got, Chris?
I'm fucked. I think I've talked about this before already on the show, but I'm just gonna reiterate. I'm so fucking tired of remakes. Can we stop remaking everything?
Hey, it's safe.
I get it, man. I know it's safe, but like, I feel like video games I can forgive because usually the remakes are like remasters of certain stuff.
Yeah.
And even then, it's like have a new idea, do something new. But all my favorite video games of this generation, with the exception of Mario Odyssey, Zelda Breath of the Wild, and then the new God of War game, which is fucking awesome, and we're going to talk about later. Everything else, all my favorite games have been like remasters.
Yeah.
Remember how fucking badass Halo 2 Remastered was?
Yeah, it was very
fucking
cool.
awesome, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's also, 14 years old at this point, so...
Yeah. Yeah.
They just keep remaking shit, and dude. All right, I've talked about it before, but they're doing like the new Oceans movie.
Oh, really? They're
Yeah.
doing another one of those?
Yeah, they're Ghostbusterizing the new Oceans movie. They're gonna have like an all-star female cast for the
Yeah.
like Ocean. I think it's still Ocean's 11 or Ocean's 8 or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's like Danny Ocean's sister.
Wait, really?
Is that seriously what?
It's supposed to be his sister, and they're just
supposed to be his
gonna
sister.
do the same kind of shit.
Yeah, it's like a soft reboot, and it's like, dude, I get it, man, but can we
Don't
can we
even
not
tie it to the original continuity.
right, exactly. Can we like not? I understand like it's all about empowerment and all that, but can we not like shoehorn them into an existing franchise?
Yeah.
I remember Trisha's reaction when I sent her that link. She went, "No,
Yeah.
No.
And hot take, shoehorning women into an existing franchise just to get women characters in there isn't empowering at all.
right."
No, I'm of the cynical stripe that it's exactly what it appears to be. It's all business.
Exactly.
It's
pandering. It's executive
It's
pandering.
right?
Yeah.
And, which is fine. Like I don't have a problem. You want to make a badass crime heist flick with a female cast? Sweet, I'll go see it on its own merit. I don't need.
Yeah.
I like movies, so
we could write 3 great versions of that movie.
right without it having anything to do with.
We absolutely could.
Yeah.
Right.
Fucking big shot chauvinist casino mogul's wife just ain't gonna fucking take it anymore. she gets a crew together.
Yeah, she decides
like
to,
only one of whom she actually knows personally. The rest are like, convicts or street criminals.
Yeah.
Or,
Gathers a ragtag bunch to sweep the house's earnings, right?
Yeah, Operation Alimony. No, but it doesn't have to be that. But something we ain't seen before, and something where it's like, oh, remember Danny Ocean? He had a sister. Did you know that?
Yeah, fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, like, it's written in the same. It's like it's the same movies that we've already seen, right? Like even the original Rat Pack version in the 50s had the same swagger, but when they remade it with Clooney and all his friends, like they kept that and then built on it. Do you know what I mean? Like you get there needs to be like a 50-year there needs to be a 50-year gap between movie remakes. At least 40.
At least give me long enough to forget about it a bit.
Right. God almighty.
Yeah.
It's frustrating, man, because I don't think anybody's gonna go see it, and it's gonna have all the same fucking stupid hype around it that like the Ghostbusters
Oh,
movie
but here's
did.
the thing: people will go see it if they feel like they should go see it.
Now I will tell you
like
this.
watching a movie is a moral fucking choice.
Now I will tell you this: the War of the Worlds, the Day the Earth Stood Still remake from some years back is proof that even like decades on, you can still fuck up a remake. But if we're talking like movies that maybe a good remake is in order. How about like The Great Escape?
Yeah.
Steve McQueen, Charles Bronson.
Right. Or and I'm even hesitant to say this because I don't want them to ruin the greatest car chase scene in the history of car chase scenes, but what about Bullet? I mean, Bullet would be a great.
You can't replicate that car chase scene, though.
No, because they actually just did that. There was no like stunt work involved. That was actually just Steve McQueen driving.
They just tore ass down the streets of San Francisco,
right?
And they kept the fucking camera still.
Yeah,
that was in the days when you got a shot like that, you fucking milked it. You didn't do like a shaky close up of the driver's grimacing fucking constipation face. You milked that motherfucking driving shot.
Yeah. No, there's some movies that they're remaking Nosferatu. I think I talked about it before. The director of The Vitch is doing a reboot of.
Awesome.
We need some good vampire movies.
Yeah, right. Nosferatu's like that one. That's one that's either going to be really good or can really fucking suck hard. So I'm really happy that somebody that I like is going to redo it.
Yeah.
But like, it's just not, I feel like most of the time it's not necessary. And if they ever start touching things like, I don't know, Indiana Jones or God forbid, Back to the Future, I
don't know, man.
The thing is, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
I know.
They're going to wait a long time until we're all just, until the nostalgia thing and the sense of protection we feel over it now has faded a bit, and we have a desire to see it again in any way, shape, or form.
Well, they're doing that now with Star Wars. They're not they're not remaking Star Wars. They're just making new ones.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Right. I mean,
and then they're making all these side stories like Rogue One and Solo. And
in Lucas's defense,
themed side stories.
Right. In Lucas's defense, he waited. When was episode 1? 99? I mean, he didn't start writing or production on it until at least 95, which was, a full 14 years after the
right.
You know what I mean? So it like
I gave it time, yeah.
Right, yeah. And that's okay, even though those movies I don't like them.
God, can you imagine if they'd given it another 10 years?
Yeah.
Imagine if they'd given it another 10 years.
And not given George Lucas the keys.
Yeah, right.
You know what? On a related note, they're making a new Thundercats series.
Thundercats? Ah!
Are they really?
I'm okay with that.
Well, it's in that goofy, like, Steven Universe, Gumball, kind of that goofy, dimensionless, cartoony style. So it's going to be silly.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a show for kids, and that's what kids like these days.
Yeah, sure.
And really, if we're being honest, if you look back on you know, Thundercats, G.I. Joe, what have you, they all look alike.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
sure.
Yeah, they all look the same.
They've all got, you know, the square-chinned hero, you know, only animate certain parts when it's convenient to do it. Otherwise, just do the mouth.
Right,
You know?
exactly. Right.
You know, the original didn't, you know, really didn't look that great. If I'm
No,
being
of
honest.
course not. No.
But you know,
They don't have to do that much to at least hit that bar.
Yeah.
Really.
yeah. But you know, people are all upset about it. It's just like, you know, that's the style now. And the people that are upset about it are our age, people who have no business watching Cartoon Network.
Exactly right.
But
Well, you know, sometimes you're in your underwear eating cereal, and you got to have something in front of you.
I like cartoons. I like good cartoons, though. I'm
Yeah.
a cartoon snob, so
Cartoon snob.
I like. Part of me wants to have a child just so I can start watching cartoons again.
Yeah.
yeah.
But like
Without feeling bad.
yeah, right. I mean, I did cartoons, but like I'm not gonna sit there and critique. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
these people who
I don't know. I'm perfectly fine with like just, you know, I've said it before on the show. I think how like, you know, like, oh, you're ruining the original. They're not though. You
No, they're
you
really
can't-
not.
You can't ruin the you know unless it's like, you know, something like, you know, we're never gonna be able to watch the Bill Cosby show again. You know, Bill Cosby definitely ruined
he
the.
actually
Yeah.
ruined the Bill
He
Cosby
definitely
show,
ruined that show
which was
forever.
actually really good. The Bill
Yeah.
Cosby show was good, but
But now,
can't
yeah.
watch it.
Not now.
Louis C.K. basically ruined the first 5 specials that he did.
Yeah.
The entire show, all the masturbation jokes he ever did.
Yeah.
Especially the jerk off jokes.
Yeah.
Which sucks because those ones are near and dear to our
All
hearts.
right, it's true. You
They
know what
are,
I'm
but-
I'm really pissed about is I can't watch some of my favorite movies. I can't watch The Usual Suspects. I can't watch American Beauty.
Yeah.
I never got to watch season 4 of House of Cards.
Yeah.
Because all this
Yeah.
shit, man.
Yeah.
Well, we still have Keanu Reeves, man.
We do have
And
Keanu
We
Reeves.
got a third John Wick movie coming out.
Bill and Ted. They're doing a new Bill and Ted.
What?
You didn't hear that? Oh my God, dude! They're doing a
Bill
new
and
Bill and
Ted?
Ted with the original cast.
Oh shit.
See,
whatever
this
happened
is
to
how
Ted?
they get us.
Or whatever. Who is the other guy that's not Keanu Reeves?
The blonde one. I can't remember
what
his
the
name.
hell's his fucking
I know. I actually
Did he
know
just-
his name.
Did he vanish? Is he a guy still in movies? Or
Theodore Logan.
Yeah, the idea is Bill and Ted with their sons are going to have an adventure. So it's not like just their sons. It's like Bill and Ted with their son. So that's cool because it's like the actual. I'm all right with that.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Yeah, right. And then people will go see that.
Please
people
no,
will get excited. for
Please
that.
no CGI George Carlin.
No.
That's all I ask.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that the worst thing? You can't even die. You can't even die and get out of movies. They'll just make you
I
up.
know. Grand Marf Tarkin. Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah. So what? Break? Take a little break.
Yeah, it's fine.
Take a little break.
Alrighty.
little brick break.
Have a little break.
Little brick. Little break out.
We will take a little bork,
Bork.
and we will be back
Oh, heck.
in a minute with more Dudecast.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Hey guys, you've been listening to and enjoying the 3 Dude Cast.
We hope you've been enjoying it anyway, but if you have, mash that like button.
Yeah, smash that fucking like button.
It looks like a heart on SoundCloud, I think.
I think
Something
so.
like that.
And if you really want to hear more of our stuff,
You can subscribe to us,
Yeah, or rate and review us on iTunes and Google Play.
and we're everywhere.
just-
SoundCloud, everywhere.
we're
Yeah.
always with you.
Always.
And we're B.
Yeah. Yes, we are.
My cigar went out.
Yeah, we all got cigars today.
We did. You guys suggested smokes.
Yeah.
Smokes. I was like,
Yeah,
you know,
why
that's-
not?
That's like a grand idea.
Smokes, let's go. I gotta wear through my my humidor. I got a bunch in there right now. So
Yeah.
yeah, well, wait, let's do a little schmorping.
Yeah, right.
let's-
Let's, for old time's sake.
Yeah.
why not? I got the I've had this before on the show. I think I talked about it. It's the Flor de los Antilles, which is
Wedge Antilles.
which is French for Beggar's Canyon back home. And then we're drinking shitty scotch, Johnny Walker Black Label, which is not my favorite, but
It's
it was
all right. It's okay.
It's just okay.
It's just all right.
It's not my favorite. It's just okay, and it's the only scotch that I could find in a small bottle. So drinking that.
Oh yeah, I like that. I mean, it's all right. I don't have no problem with it. I am smoking this My Father cigar, The Judge.
My father.
My father, The Judge.
The Judge. That's a good one, man.
Yeah.
That's a really good smoke. I've had a couple of those.
Garcia and Garcia.
I am increasingly becoming a fan of their cigars.
Yeah?
Where's that from? Is that Nicaragua? All my favorite tobacco comes from
I have no fucking
Nicaragua.
idea, actually. Where's it?
I think my father has tobacco fields in a bunch of different.
I'm gonna look and see if this second band says MF The Judge.
Made by poor Nicaraguans for the enjoyment of poor white men.
Truth. Yep, Nicaragua.
It's good. It's really good.
All my favorite tobacco comes from Nicaragua. I'm starting to realize that. Like there's really Dominican. I think the Perla is from Dominica, the Dominican Republic.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one too. But I tend to gravitate more towards the stuff that comes from Nicaragua. I don't know why that is. I don't know why that tobacco tastes better to me.
I don't know.
But it's a thing. Like
Some minerals in the soil or
Yeah,
something.
something, yeah.
Some kind of bullshit like that. I don't know.
Some kind of science bullshit. What are you schmorping?
As Chris stated,
Perla.
I am smoking the Perla Del Mar.
That's a good go-to.
My old standby. I also got the Macanudo Inspirado,
oh, those are good too. I have one of those. in
which
the humidor.
I felt it was time for me to try a much darker
yeah.
cigar. So.
Inspirado, why don't you come to your senses?
Canyonero.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
That's a
what I
little
got.
vintage smorpin' and dorpin'. I have a Would You Rather for you guys.
okay.
I'm excited about this one. I'm always excited to play Would You Rather. Okay, so choose between the following two scenarios. Number one, your favorite item at Taco Bell that they no longer sell comes back, but all other food tastes like poop to you.
Ooh.
Everything else. But your favorite item is back and it tastes as good as you could possibly remember. If Taco Bell is in your thing, sub in another restaurant. Doesn't matter. That's scenario one. Scenario two, your dad is Wayne Gretzky now. And he teaches you everything he knows, but he, always wants to tickle fight with you. All the time.
Ooh.
And it's, uncomfortable.
the second one.
Is it straight through it?
But just
I like food too much to have all other food taste like poop. I love food too much.
Let me talk my way through this one here, all right? Let me talk my way through this. I'm going to, because the Taco Bell officially doesn't have the cheesy potato burrito anymore. And that used to be a standby, but they replaced it with another potato burrito, which is less good. But Taco
Right.
Bell always has lots of stuff that's really tasty.
yes.
So everything else there, is also really tasty. I'm also thinking, I'm thinking in multiple restaurants.
Mine was the triple steak stack thing.
Oh, yeah.
It was literally just flatbread cheese and then a shitload of steak.
Yeah.
That was literally it.
Yeah. I was thinking what if I did the chicken bacon and Swiss from Arby's?
You could resurrect the original
the
chicken
original,
bacon and
the
Swiss.
real. Let's be real here. The real chicken bacon and Swiss.
Actual chicken
But
bacon
then
and
literally
Swiss.
all other food tastes like poop.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking. Dad and I went to IHOP today, and we got the steak tips and eggs, like a breakfast thing. And you wouldn't think that getting a shitty steak from a place like IHOP would be any good. Steak is tender. They grill it with some kind of teriyaki thing on the flat iron.
At IHOP?
At IHOP with some onions and mushrooms and shit. Oh my god, dude! Plus you get chocolate chip pancakes with it. I mean, come on.
I had no idea that IHOP had good steak.
I wouldn't say it's good steak, but it's good shitty dinners. Or
chopped up steak.
yeah, it's like remember Ponderosa used to do the steak tips, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really good steak, but it tasted good. So you get some. That's a steak that I feel comfortable putting A1 on. Especially with breakfast. Usually with a breakfast steak, I want a steak sauce on it. No other time is that acceptable.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. The shame is I love A1.
Oh, yeah.
so
It's so
much.
It
good.
is really good.
You know what else is a really good one for pork? It's Heinz 57.
I got some in my fridge.
Dude, get you
I'm
some.
all about
Get you
that.
some of that, man.
Yeah, throw some pork chops in a bag with the 57, seal it up, and wait a while.
But all of this is to say that I don't think I could give up food.
Yeah,
I
I kind of
like.
think I made this too easy.
I think I like food too much, man.
Yeah.
I like food too much to say
man.
no.
But consider the Gretzky. I mean, consider that you're being tickled
I would-
all the time. He just only wants to tickle fight with you all the time.
I would consider it an honor to be tickled by the Great One all the time.
But you also said he would
teaches
teach
you.
us. He teach you everything he knows.
When you can keep him focused, he's a great teacher, and he's going to make sure that you have all of his skills. But it's just like, okay, all right, little break, tickle fight, and you're like, no, come on.
this is a man who's dropped logic and reason and genius onto the world.
Yeah.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah,
Wayne Gretzky,
A good player.
Michael Scott.
I saw that today.
Right, yeah. Wayne Gretzky once said a good player knows where the puck is at all times. The best players know where the puck is going to be at all times.
Yeah.
Those are hockey pearls of wisdom. And to have that man teach me,
Yeah.
it'd be incredible. I think I would deal with the tickle fight.
And then a little roughhousing.
A little roughhousing. Who doesn't want to roughhouse with Wayne Gretzky?
Yeah, but he's your dad too, so it's like a little weirder.
You don't remember roughhousing with your dad?
Yeah, but it's like I'm 30 now. I mean,
Oh,
I don't know. I
that's
don't
cool.
want my dad tickling me on the ice all the time.
Think about how much fun that would be.
Yeah.
Well, he wouldn't tickle you on the ice. You'd have to wait until you got off.
Well, he's insatiable. He
Yeah.
just wants to tickle.
That's fine.
All right. I think I'm with you guys. I think I'm going Gretzky.
Gotta go Wayne.
I tried to make a case against it, but I couldn't.
No, you can't. It's the great one, dude.
Yeah.
You don't get a nickname like the great one.
The
You know what I
single
mean?
solitary be all end all.
Right. The great one.
The great one.
Who is known for nothing else except being great.
Yeah. God, what a great legacy.
I'll bet you he even tickle fights great.
I bet he tickle fights pretty good,
I'll bet
actually.
Wayne Gretzky's tickle fighting real good.
I bet he's like
How
quick.
do you think he got that sweet supermodel that he's been married to for like 20 years?
Probably a really good
He's probably good.
tickle fight.
Probably good tickle fighter. She might be into tickling.
I regret this. Would you rather?
Why?
I don't know. I made it too easy. I mean, because now that I'm thinking about it, if Taco Bell brought back Baja sauce and they put it on the original grilled stuffed burrito that was
yeah.
so good, if that came back, I would want to eat it all the time.
Yeah.
But it can't be the only thing. I
It
eat.
can't be the only thing you eat. There's only a handful of foods that I could say I could comfortably eat all the time and be okay with that.
Like for the rest of your life, one dish.
Yeah. Oh,
What?
why is Tyler calling me?
Salmon over basmati.
I don't know. You wanna get that?
Nah.
We should.
Nah.
Yeah, you should text him.
Yeah, that's fine. Doing the show.
Yeah.
No, but like, I think I could comfortably probably eat pizza for the rest of my life. And I might get tired of it, but there's enough different pizza places and enough different kinds of pizza
Yeah.
that if anything that falls under the blanket of pizza could be,
Yeah.
construed that way, I could reasonably exist off of that forever.
That is a hell of a lot of cheese.
That's a lot of
and
cheese.
A hell of a lot of carbs from the crust too.
I didn't say I was going to live long. I just said I could live off of
or
it.
even prosper.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. Peanut butter and jelly
PB&J, dude, a classic
with
PB&J.
a glass of milk. I
Right.
can eat that every single day.
And
The rest of my life.
let me
be
just
fine.
say, for Christy, who might be listening to this, you are correct.
No, she's
that
wrong.
crunchy
No.
peanut butter is superior.
No,
to creamy
no,
peanut
no,
butter.
no.
No.
Crunchy.
No.
Gotta be crunchy.
You're outnumbered in this room.
That doesn't matter. I'm not outnumbered in life.
I can see crunchy peanut butter going good with a few things. Maybe even there's some kind of open face PBJ that it would go good on. But no,
With gravy on top.
it's too hard to spread.
No.
The Bob Evans sausage and gravy and PB&J sandwich.
Yummy.
Just like half peanut butter, half jelly, and then you just drown it in sausage gravy.
Yeah.
A country fried steak topped with crunchy peanut butter, olive oil,
Olive oil.
olive oil,
Olive oil.
and extra thick mayonnaise.
All right. Extra thick mayonnaise.
Extra thick.
Well, all
I
right.
don't even know if extra thick mayonnaise is a thing.
Well, I was just thinking that. Do you think that's a thing?
Just I don't know, like a mayonnaise that comes out with the consistency of like cream cheese. Do you think that's a thing that exists?
I hope not.
Just get a big spoonful of that and just hump.
It's good for you.
It's good for you.
It's good for you.
Pre-dinner snack.
Oh my god. That party that we were at, when you happily ate the spoon of mayonnaise.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
forgot?
I was very drunk that night.
Yeah.
I love mayonnaise, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the challenge was to eat a spoonful of mayonnaise. I was like, give it here.
It was great because like they told you, they read the card to you. And they're like, okay, your punishment is to eat a spoon of mayonnaise. And I saw your face not change at all and just go, all right.
Implying I haven't eaten a spoonful of
Right,
mayonnaise
exactly.
before.
Come on. Listen, I'll tell you what. My friend Tommy and I, this was years ago. We made homemade French fries. We got really stoned first, incidentally. I
Just
just
a good way to start.
one of the things that used to be like my friend Mitch and Tommy and I. What like our trope as friends is we used to get each other like odd kitchen appliances, like small kitchen appliances as gifts for like birthdays and Christmas.
That's a great idea. All that strange as seen on TV shit.
The shit that you would never buy for yourself, but like okay, so like I bought my friend Mitch a sandwich maker one year. It was like shaped in the cutouts as a sandwich to make like pressed hot ham and cheese in 3 minutes and stuff. Oh my god, hot peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with toasted bread.
I love that.
Dude, fuck, it was like $20. He fucking loved it.
Yeah.
I got a fondue kit one year. They bought me a personal deep fryer, like with the controls right on the front.
Personal deep fryer.
Yeah, like a small one, right?
So you can
Yeah.
deep fry your person.
Yes. But we did. We got stoned and then we decided we were watching Pulp Fiction and we decided we were going to make French fries and dip them in mayonnaise. Incidentally, if you've never done that in your life, I strongly encourage you to have French fries and mayonnaise.
Oh man,
That's fucking really good.
in other countries they sell fry sauce, which is literally just ketchup and mayonnaise mixed together.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is I'll do the French fries with mayonnaise with ketchup.
Yeah.
Little dunk in the mayo, little dunk in the ketchup.
I would do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just did it straight mayonnaise, just dunking it. And remember, we're sitting there eating it, going, "Oh my god, this is incredible! This isn't gross at all. This is delicious."
Yeah. Corn dogs too.
Yeah.
Corn dogs really good that way.
You know what's great to dip French fries in that you're not supposed to technically is Arby's sauce, the horsey sauce.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
horsey sauce.
That's what you do with the curly fries, right? I mean, I always put horsey sauce on my curly fries.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I dip them in
Oh,
Arby's
yeah.
sauce, homie.
Yeah, that is what it's called, right? The red sauce, the Arby's sauce.
Arby's sauce, yeah.
Yeah. Dip it. Really, either one is good.
Either one, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
horsey sauce. I didn't even eat horsey sauce because it sounded gross to me when I was a kid.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I was a grown adult that I discovered what horseradish sauce actually is, and I mean I put it on all my sandwiches now. Pretty much.
I was a weird kid. Like there was so much stuff that I didn't have. I think I've talked about it on the show before too. Like I didn't have a taco until I was like
Right.
19 years
Yeah,
old.
we did talk about that. How
What a
fucking weird
weirdo.
that is.
Yeah, what a weirdo. I didn't have a Big Mac until I was like 16.
That's a long time to wait.
It is
for
a
your
long
first
time.
Mac.
It is, right? Because I was like, it sounded gross. It was one of those like stupid things you think as a kid that you can't get past. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to order one. And I took a first bite and I'm like, oh my God, this is why people eat this. This is incredible.
I'm a firm believer that your first Mac should be something that happens when you're young, and it's just kind of a silly throwaway thing.
Yeah.
Always have that memory of your first Mac.
Your first Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was my Uncle Mac. I was 8. No. Stop it. You
What are the
hack.
dogs barking at?
I don't know. The dog is aggravated. Anyway.
Anyway,
Fuck
so let's move on to the main topic here, huh?
All right.
So I was thinking it might be fun to talk about in general. And I'm just thinking of this in my head as lost and found. Of all the things that you have ever lost or things that have ever been returned to you, just like things you might have discovered. I don't know. I just thought it might be interesting to think about all the times like you might have lost something really important and like holy shit.
It came back.
Yeah, and then sometimes it comes back.
I have two that I can think of right off the top of my head that were lost that I found.
Okay.
One of them that was the first time that I moved out of the house, and another one was when I just moved recently. Something that I found when I was moving to the new apartment. I found my childhood teddy bear,
No shit.
which I have had literally since I was 1 day old. It was something that my mom worked with brought in a little gift basket.
Holy shit.
Actually, let me see if I can find it. I called him Bear Bear because I'm unoriginal.
Well, you also like called him that, from the time that you were like old enough to call him anything, right? So
Correct. Yeah.
I think you get a pass for coming up with Bear Bear.
Yeah. It was. But I got him. It was like in a little gift basket thing, and he's a little guy. He's like. He's
Like a Beanie Baby
He's
bear?
like this tall, right? It's this
Okay.
little thing that I used to take with me everywhere, and it's like that. I don't know, like the touch, like the sensation of touch, the soft, comforting thing, and like
Yeah.
the way that he always used to smell. I don't know. It's just like,
The gentle touch of Bear Bear.
incidentally, Bear Bear has been through some shit. So like,
Is he like?
oh my god, this is close. Mine's a little lighter, but it looks kind of like that. But mine's like a light gray.
Aw,
so
that's
it's
a cute Bear Bear.
It's this little thing. I'll have to bring it in and show you guys sometime. It's sitting in my closet. But he has seen some shit, man. He's been through the washer enough times. He has a burn mark on the top of his head where I took a hot hair dryer and stuck it on there, so there's a big burn mark circle on his head. His arm has been sewed back on about 50 times by my grandmother. There's like, he has one arm that's barely hanging on that's still got the whole hand on it, and then he's got another arm that's just like strings at this point. All the fur has come out of him. He's been sewed together so many times that it's like, it's barely this thing, but I have him in a little Ziploc bag right now, so the elements don't get to him. But I stopped, and I remember I took a picture to send it to Mom when I was packing, and she's like, "Oh my god," you know what I mean? It's like I carried that thing everywhere, and I was one of those kids who like carried their teddy bear way too long. You know what I mean? So like it was this really cool, important thing. So the first thing I did when I found him was like rub him up against my face like I used to when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But like I can't. There's something about it I can't get rid of it. I mean, that's one of those things you can't throw away, right?
You can't throw that away.
You
Right.
can't. Yeah.
You have to keep it.
I can't bring myself to do it. It's just, that's like a part of me. And the other one that I found was that was the first time I moved when we were packing up my bedroom. I found a picture that my grandfather and I drew when I was like 3 or 4 years old, where we designed our own theme park.
No
And we
shit.
drew on, it was like on this pink scratch paper, and we drew it in crayon. And we drew rides, and we named them, and all this cool stuff. So I found that picture,
No shit.
and the first time
Did
I
it have a
moved,
name?
the name of the park, I can't remember. I just remember we signed it by Chris and Grandpa.
Oh, that's cool.
But like I remember, I found it again when I was packing up. But it's another one. It's just one of those things that I can't. I can't bring myself to get rid of, because it was I picked it up the first time I found it, and I went, oh my god! Like I vividly remembered sitting at his kitchen table and drawing that with him when I was like 4. So
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing you never should get rid of.
right, yeah, I don't know. And most of the lost and found stuff I have is like real personal,
Yeah.
of no worth to anybody but me. So
Yeah.
Well, this is probably kind of not what you meant, but my first adult job was at the library out at Youngstown State.
Yeah.
And I left that job, on really good terms with everyone there, because I was speaking of modestly, I was really fucking amazing at it. And one of the things I got really, really good at was locating lost materials. Because there's always a reason something's lost. Like if it's been checked back in, but if it's checked in, it's definitely in the system, registered as returned, it's checked in, it's on the shelves, but a patron can't find it.
Yeah.
There's usually a reason. And so I over the years came up with like several, common places to look, and it usually had to do with someone misread the call number and it's not where it's supposed to be. So that would include like, something. So like the N section deals with fine arts.
Okay.
And there's so many, so it's like N, NA, NB, NC, all the way down through like NS, NT. And so, normally if I'm looking for something in the ends, I would go through and look at, all the other subletters, or if there's a subletter that's not there, just go straight to N and look there.
Okay.
Maybe sometimes, an I looks like a J.
Right.
Maybe sometimes someone mistakes a Q for an O. Things that you could easily misread. I got really good at keeping those in mind, and I would be able to find lost materials more often than not. Like I'd say like 7 or 8 times out of 10 I could go up and.
You were like a library detective.
Yeah, there's like I said, it's like getting in the mindset of like, who was shelving this. Whoever was shelving this, could they have possibly misread this call number?
Yeah.
Is there a reason why it wouldn't be where it's supposed to be?
Yeah.
The first thing to do is actually just check the tables, because someone might actually have it out and just left it on a table when they're reading it.
Yeah.
And then if that doesn't work, you go and peruse the stacks, but you don't have to look like, all up and down for them. During like summers and weekends when there were no, we do shelf reading where we had to, we were assigned a section of stacks and we had to go through and look at all the call numbers and make sure they were in order. And I was pretty good at that. I'd pick out material that was out of place and stuff like that pretty easily. But like actually finding missing materials, I got pretty darn good at.
I feel like I've asked you this before, but do people bang in the library?
We've had that problem.
I feel like I remember maybe you mentioning something about people banging in the library.
We've had that problem. We had that problem once actually with 2 guys.
Yeah.
Just like right there in the stacks.
Oh, nice.
I seem to recall there was something going on there for a while with one of those booths you can reserve.
Yeah.
One of those private study booths for like grad students or whatever.
Oh, okay. Do they like have doors that close or whatever? Oh,
Yep.
nice.
Sure do.
Yeah. Complimentary towels included.
Yeah, every once in a while there was some romance in the library, but generally not during the day. It was usually like it would usually get found by the campus cop that would go up and down in the buildings and make sure
Nobody was fucking.
right.
Yeah, I'm just here to make sure no one's fucking in here.
Yeah, make sure everyone was cleared out before we hit closing time.
Yeah.
Yeah, every once in a while there'd be that. Someone would lose their dick and find it inside someone else. So,
There you go.
See, I brought it right back to the topic.
Yeah,
See,
right to the theme.
It's like sort of like poetry. It's like they rhyme.
You ever lose a lot of money?
Yes.
Yeah, just like literally lose a lot of money.
$100. There's a famous $100 bill that's missing in an old couch that has lugs that's been thrown away that I can't find, that I actually tore apart trying to find it. I don't know where it's at.
Sucks.
Yep.
I went to the ATM one year before going to the Canfield Fair, and I was I went to the Speedway ATM up at the corner this way, right? Or yeah, that way, and went did all my transaction, whatever, took my receipt, left. 15 minutes down the road, I realized I didn't even pick up the money.
Oh my god.
And I was so angry. I went back and asked the question that I knew the answer was no to, which is, hey, did anyone report finding $100 over there? Nope.
Now I will tell you, there's in I don't know what it would have been then, but in a lot of ATM machines now, there's like a 2-minute timer on there. So if you don't take your money after a certain length of time, it sucks back in, remembers your last transaction, and will actually just put that right back into your account.
No,
that's cool.
Shit.
I think Huntington started that, which is why Huntington is basically the best bank.
Yeah.
So that at least right now. But yeah, that's a thing. Like they're not just going to leave you hanging there.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
And also, it's smart that they do things now. Like, okay, you have to take your money before you get your card.
Right.
Things like that.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
there's
that's,
idiots like me running around. Like, did he? I still don't know how I didn't like go. Well, there's money here, and then pick it up. It was so stupid and thoughtless.
So, this isn't money related, but something else just occurred to me. There was this little orange foam basketball, about yay big, not quite as big as a baseball. Me and my brother, before we would go to school, would use this. We would play with it with our dad, who would come in the mornings because our mom was at work, and he would wait with us while the bus was on its way. And so we would take this orange ball and throw it, like me and my brother would be in the TV room.
Yeah.
We'd throw the ball across the dining room into the living room, or my dad would catch it, and then he'd throw it back to us, like through the dining room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like a dad.
Yeah.
Sure.
Purely a dad thing.
With no regard to any of the other
Right,
shit
exactly.
in the house.
Right, yeah.
So one day, he catches it and then just wings it as hard as he can, goes right past my head, and I hear it smack against the videotape shelf behind me.
No.
And then I look, and it's not there. I don't see where it's gone. My brother doesn't see where it's gone.
Okay.
And we're looking, and my dad's like, "What's wrong?" And we're like, "We don't see it." Like, I know I heard it hit the video shelf.
Yeah.
I don't know where it went. And so he comes over and we look. We look like behind the shelf. We look, around it, under the furniture and everything.
It's never found.
It just fucking vanished.
Your dad glitched it through the wall.
Right. I don't remember if we ever found it or not. I feel like we must have, like when we were moving shit around, or when my mom and my stepdad were moving shit around, like rearranging the room or something. It must have come up.
Into the ether.
But
it goes.
as far as I know, we never found the thing. We just got on the bus when it came and left, and I looked for it when I got home and couldn't find it.
That's so weird.
It's really strange. I've got a couple of theories, but I remember not being able to find the fucking thing.
Here's what I like to think is that, like, what happened was sometime the next day your dad found it and was like, I'm throwing this away. Like, they're just gonna think I made it.
I bet it was
like
like on top of the shelf or something, and he pocketed it while we were looking or something. Yeah.
Because it makes for a great mystery. You're still thinking about it.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, another one. I was watching Aubrey play Skyrim.
Nice.
That's Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's all the same.
Yeah, whatever.
So I'm watching her play Skyrim, and her companion Serana from the Dawnguard expansion. Serana's a vampire. Stops in one section of the dungeon they're in, and she didn't notice. She went into the next area. Serana didn't follow her in.
Okay.
So it's only like a short time later that she's like outside. She's like, "Wait, where the hell did Serana go?" and so I'm like, I don't know. Keep trying like fast travel with some more areas. See if she'll like come up, because the companion's supposed to be attached to you,
right? Yeah.
And they'll show up. So she continues playing for like an hour without this companion, and then like. Oh god, she's like coming up on like Solitude or something, I think.
Yeah.
She's running through those like steam marshes, and all of a sudden in the distance you can see Serana just like hustling towards her, and we're both just sitting there like,
what the fuck is that?
what?
She's been running for like a solid month.
Jesus Christ!
Don't do that again.
There was
I was looking at some runes and shit, and all of a sudden.
There were these guys from Something Awful in a similar story playing Oblivion, the PC version of Oblivion.
Yeah.
They had heavily modded it. And this, their Let's Play went on for like 80 plus episodes or whatever. And like sometime early on, they got one of those drews.
Yeah.
The big lobster claw things, but there was a mod that let you use one as a mount. And so they called him Drew the Drew, and they rode him through the countryside, and then one day he just fucking vanished. They loaded into an area and he wasn't there. And it wasn't until like 25 or so episodes later that he just randomly appeared at like a unicorn pond.
Like, buddy, we lost you.
Like no one could. Everyone thought he was gone for good. Like I'd been following this. This was like several months down the road.
Yeah,
25 or so episodes later,
And I'm sure-
and he's just sitting there at a unicorn pond, and they mouse over him to see that's actually the guy. They're like, Drew.
That's so
Bethesda
funny.
games are so
They're good
wonderful
for
for weird shit like that.
Oh God, I'm gonna get off on a little Skyrim tangent here. I remember when Skyrim was at its peak when it first came out. There was that great, which I think is still happening, in some form. The top 10 Skyrim mods of the week. Top 5 Skyrim mods of the week.
Yeah.
Whenever that would come out. And I remember they were really fond of the exploding chicken mod. and then whenever every episode after that, they always did something with exploding chickens at the end because that was their favorite mod ever. And I remember there was one that would turn chickens giant. So of
Just
course,
like stomping around.
You're right. So of course they spawned like 10 of them in and then blew them up and like broke the game.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Bethesda games are really good. The Elder Scrolls games in particular are really good for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for like
And
weird
Fallout.
mods.
The swearing mud crabs mod was always my favorite.
I never saw that one.
You hit a mud crab and it cusses at you.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! God fucking damn it, motherfucker!
That's so stupid.
That's all it is.
That's just adding cursing to the mud crab. That's a really good
Yeah,
idea.
all of their sound files. So they're not even like the chittering or anything. It's just they're just big ass crabs that curse.
Remember the first mod I remember seeing was the Macho Man Randy Savage mod in Left 4 Dead.
Yes.
Yeah,
So fucking weird.
Bonesaw is ready. A witch.
It's such a weird thing. Just like hearing just dozens and dozens of Macho Man.
Yeah, right. Chirping at the same time, which was always really funny.
Like chasing you down a hall, like punching holes in
Yeah.
walls and just
Yeah.
it's just you think you're safe and then
It was the greatest. I had for a while that mod. I also had one that replaces the smokers sound files with those of Yoshi. The boomer, God, who is the boomer? The boomer, I feel like, just got tuba sound effects. The tank had sound files for heavy weapons guy.
nice.
God, I wish I could. The witch was really funny. I can't remember what her sound files were.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that Donkey video where he did Skyrim for the first time and he creates the gigantic battle.
Well, it opens like normally enough, and then you hear the Thomas the Train Engine whistle, and you're like, "Oh, okay, here we go."
Yeah.
Skyrim,
Ultimate
is here to save me.
Skyrim. Yeah.
What do they say? Like, I feel like everyone plays IKEA board.
Right. Yeah, it's just a cart as your head with googly eyes.
Man, like the mod community is very
yeah.
weird.
It's been around for like forever. There was back when I played CS 1.6, Nipper maps were like the big thing. It was just this bizarre map designer. He did one of his own house. He did a map. There was probably one of my favorite maps. Because eventually there's a point in CS 1.6, or there was when it was at its prime, where like half the servers you find yourself in are modded to hell and back with grappling hooks and low gravity. And, but my favorite was one with it was called the dance mod or something like that, and you could play different kinds of dance music, and the colors of the screen would change. They had grappling hooks, but it was a 24/7 HE dodgeball server.
Oh, hell yeah.
The terrorists and counter-terrorists start on opposite ends of a gym, a school gymnasium, run to the middle where there's frag grenades, and they keep respawning. So you just
hell
you just run around throwing frag grenades at the other team until you win.
That sounds fucking awesome.
It was hilarious.
God, you remember Griffball? You remember how good Griffball was?
Griffball.
In Halo 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was a direct result of Red versus Blue.
Yeah.
They came out like they did the Griffball episode of Red versus Blue in which Griff always just dies. So the experts at Bungie just made a fun playlist of all Griff Ball all the time, which was just so much fun.
That was a smart thing that Bungie did, was listen very closely to like the fan community around their games. You know,
the way they got that effect with that talking effect where they'd have the pistol out and nod their heads is if you looked all the way down with a pistol, the character model's head would snap back up.
Yeah.
And so that's how they did that that talking animation. And that wasn't supposed to happen. That was a model glitch. But they kept that in for all subsequent releases of Halo so that Red vs. Blue could keep doing the show on newer engines.
Yeah.
which was
Really
wonderful.
cool. Good guy Bungie.
TV Tropes calls that an ascended glitch.
Yeah.
oh, nice. I'm sure, like Gandhi from Civilization.
That's an ascended glitch. Combos in Street Fighter are an ascended glitch, believe it or not. It wasn't intentional.
Really?
Yeah. To be able to string like that many hits together. But if you had perfect time, they refined the process and made it so that if you have perfect timing, you can chain together like a really long combo. That's an ascended glitch.
No
and it changed
shit.
fighting games forever.
Yeah, right.
I didn't know that wasn't on purpose.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
It was not.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that have been lost and found, bringing this directly from video games.
Morty.
Apart from all the developers now that are just kind of riding the trend train and either doing like hero shooters like Overwatch or like battle royale games. The new Call of Duty is supposed to have a battle royale multiplayer mode, for instance. I know.
Stop.
There's still those games that come out that and id Software has been killing it with it these past couple of years with the new Doom, the new Wolfensteins, things that have been lost. The classic first person shooter thing where you run around, you jump from platform to platform and just circle strafe enemies and shoot them until they die. That got found again in the Doom of 2 years ago, Doom 2016.
Right.
This reminds me, I really got to buy a copy of Strafe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the dude that's building it. Like, I went to high school. He like graduated a year before me. He was a cool guy.
The game looks fucking sick, dude.
It looks incredibly fun.
Yeah.
I played the like the pre-release sort of. It was like a demo sort of beta test kind of thing you could play.
Right.
And it was like clearly a work in progress. Haven't touched it since. Why are we not playing Strafe?
We could be. Yeah, we could be.
We could be playing Strafe.
That's like exactly the kind of game that is, where you like, like running around on platforms with cool elevators and like blowing shit up from a distance.
Yeah.
And you like use the blood of things. You literally paint the map with blood.
Yeah.
Like, it's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like, speaking of lost and found, I feel like every couple of years I go through this. My lost and found love of video games.
Yeah.
I stop playing for a long time and then come back into them. Actually, and I'm going to talk about later. I'm playing God of War right now, and that is like,
Yeah.
That's such a game.
It's bringing me back, man.
Dad of War.
Dad of War.
Dad of War.
Yeah.
Here's something from the news actually recently. I was doing a Google search and noticed Adolf Hitler was trending.
All right.
Turns out they found his teeth.
What?
They found his teeth, and they've used that and his dental records to confirm that he did indeed die in that bunker. The conspiracy theories about him still being alive somewhere can be laid to rest. They've confirmed that Hitler actually did die in his bunker. They found his teeth.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, or I don't know if it's just his teeth or like some of his remains. But yeah, he's. But like when I searched for Adolf Hitler, the headlines that came up were hilarious. Like from Fox News 8 hours ago, Hitler definitely died in his bunker. New research says. It's like, well, duh.
No shit. Right. Yeah, we knew that.
Yeah. Most everybody knew that.
What about Hitler's canoe? Did they find Hitler's canoe?
Hitler's canoe. What?
Do you remember that? It was a joke from King of the Hill.
No,
Cotton was like trying to get rid of some of his old. He was broke, so he was trying to sell some of his old World War II memorabilia, of which he had a lot, and one of them was something that he claimed to be Hitler's canoe. He's trying to sell Hitler's canoe.
Oh my
For
god!
like $300.
That's so silly. God, Cotton is such a hilarious character.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I would say maybe the best character on that show.
Yeah,
I love Cotton.
The thing is, every time he's on the screen, you're laughing. He doesn't even have to say anything. He's just got them little beady eyes, that intense little
And he killed Fitty Men.
fitty.
KFM killed Fitty Men.
His knees blown off, right?
Right, yeah, he had his shins. It was his shins.
That's it.
Did you ever see the episode where he tells the story of how his shins got blown
I
off?
think so.
It's like 3 minutes of solid laughter. It's so funny.
We gotta try to find that.
I'll have to see if I can find it. It's
'Cause
fucking
I have the
hilarious.
whole library
It's like-
of that show on my text
He's
server.
talking about. I came to and I was beating the last Japanese to death with a piece of his buddy. It's just like blown apart. I woke up in a field hospital and they were sewing my feet to my knees.
Cotton's ridiculous.
I recently found again an entire game, which is Bill Nye the Science Guy and Stop the Rock, in which you the thing is it doesn't work on anything past Windows 98, so I'm trying to set up a virtual machine to
Oh no shit.
to run this fucking game from 1996, and but the premise being that you have to help Bill Nye and the Nye Labs crew. There's there's like this laser defense grid that defends against meteors.
Okay.
And it's becomes self-aware, and it wants humanity to prove that it's even worth saving.
That sounds awesome.
So you
that is sweet.
So as you go around learning about science, you gotta solve this AI's 7 riddles.
Okay.
They're science related riddles. I was only ever able to figure out one, but now that I'm older than 8 years old,
Yeah.
I can probably
You could probably crush this.
probably do it this time.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting to play it again because it's super neat. You just go around Nye Labs and learn about science, and it's
Yeah.
super cool. It's one of those old games, one of those old point and click, adventure
I
games.
saw this.
where like everything is, it's a quick time movie,
Yeah.
superimposed onto the thing.
Yeah. Those games notoriously do not run well on newer versions of Windows.
No, they don't, which is why I'm trying to set up a Win98 virtual box and
That'd probably be the best way to go. And even then, it's like, I don't know. Like, I got a virtual machine just to play this old game I loved called Stay Tuned.
yeah, I remember you showing us footage of that.
Yeah, it was like a very odd game where you had to like go through like an apartment building finding keys because the cartoons came out of the television and they took over your apartment. It was really fun. There's a lot of great gags in it.
Yeah.
There's like I can never explain this to anybody why it was so great, but it was just like it was really particularly funny to like 10-year-old me.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you reminded me too about my aunt's Macintosh. She had the old iMac with the different colors.
Yeah.
Oh no
Yeah,
shit.
she had a
Yeah,
blue
the
one.
fruit flavored Max.
It came with 3 games. It came with a really cool dinosaur game where you had 30 minutes to
Nanosaur.
You had
That's
to get
the
it.
eggs. You were a
had to
time
collect the
traveling
eggs.
raptor.
Yeah.
And you had to run around.
collect the eggs. That game was fucking fun. We used to play that for hours, dude.
Time traveling raptor
Yeah.
steals eggs.
There was Automatic.
Yeah.
And then there was the one where you're a bug. I can't remember.
See,
the name.
I got Nanosaur. I got Mech Warriors 1 through 3,
Fuck.
and I got Marathon.
Motherfucking marathon,
Yeah.
son.
I remember no matter what you did, every time you turned on Mech Warrior for some reason on the iMac, it would just blast at full volume no matter what.
yeah.
The reason I was too scared to play Myst for years was because of one time when I quit the fucking game and the volume just went
Spiked. Yeah.
Yeah, and while that creepy violin music was playing,
Yeah.
and then it just
Yeah, right in your ear, yeah.
There was something about Myst that was really scary, and I still don't quite get why.
The isolation.
Yeah,
it's the isolation.
Yeah.
And just always waiting for something to happen that didn't happen. Like
Right.
waiting for someone to jump out at you.
Well, it's the isolation, and I mean it's just a creepy game in general. The soundtrack was brilliant.
Yeah.
And then when you walk in, you spend a lot of your time in the library in that game.
Yeah.
The main library in the Mist Island hub world, and you walk in and half the things are burnt, and it's like something happened here. Something very terrible happened here.
And something bad might happen to me while I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are bad endings to that game.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I remember like watching. So I had some of this stuff spoiled for me because I was rooting around in the CD in the root folders of the game.
It's like a 20-plus-year-old game.
I know. Well, I mean, like as when I was playing it, I had a lot of it ruined for me because I got curious and I started digging around in the folder on the CD, and I saw like videos that like I was like, oh, hey, look, there's the fuzzy Cirrus and fuzzy Akinar, and they're like trying to tell you things. And then I went too far and I saw, oh wait, but they're bad though.
Yeah, right.
As if you couldn't tell.
Right.
Well, I didn't quite exactly right because they're both like loony at that point.
I had a Mist-like game that was even creepier called Riddle of the Sphinx, and I actually still have.
Oh yeah.
I still have the jewel case sitting
You
around
told me
for
about
that.
Yeah.
What kind of ticked me off though was the ending got spoiled for me because I the first time I went to play it, I put the disc in, and it auto played the MOV file for the ending of the game. And so it's like, and so the Riddle of the Sphinx was spoiled for it. Like there, like long story short, there is something at the end of the tunnel, and it's, if you pay attention, you'll figure out what it is. But it got spoiled for me right out of the gate.
That blows. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, bummer.
I wonder if they're gonna make a new Myst.
That would be sick.
I don't know.
When you play that, I'd play that.
I mean, they end. There's an overarching storyline that they ended with Myst 5, appropriately titled "End of Ages."
When did that come out?
Many years ago.
No shit, I never played Myst 5.
There's Myst, Riven, Exile, Uru, and End of Ages.
Okay.
And I've never played. I couldn't beat Riven. There's no way to figure out where to go for it.
Riven was really hard.
I'm too impatient to beat Riven.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of Exile and it was great. But I looked up the plot and the ending to End of Ages, and it sounds just epic.
Yeah.
Like it just sounds incredible and a beautiful end of the series. But yeah, I don't know if they're ever gonna make another.
That would be a sick reboot.
They did come out with Real Myst, which is a real time. You walk around in first person with mouse and keyboard. Which was actually how I ended up playing through the second time.
Yeah.
And the way to beat the game in 5 minutes still works.
Yes.
If you know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Nice.
The trick is if you're playing it the first time, you don't know what to look for.
Right. Exactly. Right.
But anyway, Lost and Found.
Yeah. What did you loot? We went off on a game tangent.
I don't know. I mean, really, I don't even know if I had anything good for this topic at all. I just thought it would be something interesting to talk about.
It is. Well, it's working.
Well, my stepmom keeps digging up old pictures of me and my brother and my dad when he was younger. My dad is 30 years 6 months older than I am. So I'll have my 30th in this coming June, and he'll have his 60th on New Year's Eve this year.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It's weird looking at it. It should be familiar, but it isn't, because like I've gotten so accustomed, to how my dad has looked for the past, I don't know, probably past 10 years or so.
Yeah.
And looking at him, 25 to 20 years prior.
It's a trip, isn't it?
Is strange. Yeah, his hair was a lot blacker.
Yeah. Right.
But there's one. I wish I knew what had happened, because both me and my dad look like we're just completely done. like I must have been having a real bad day, because I look just royally pissed in this picture, and I don't know what the fuck happened. It actually might be in my my stepmom's text messages.
Oh yeah.
But she's been digging these up for the past year or two now.
That's amazing.
Just going through old photo albums, and then like I'm looking at these T-shirts I used to wear, and being oh shit, I remember that. I wonder what happened.
Oh man, I miss some. I had some cool T-shirts that are gone now.
Yeah.
Just completely. Like I had this T-shirt when I was like 10. It was my favorite shirt. It was like this dark gray shirt that had a bunch of different sharks on the front, like screen printed on the front. and like in the water was like the whole scene.
Oh,
there was like a
nice.
hammerhead and then
You know
a blue
what?
tip and a great
There were a
white.
lot of those.
Yeah.
Here's one I don't understand the context of.
Oh, what?
This must have been like one of those like digital photo booths at like I don't know at like a Dave and Buster's or Kahunaville or
Yeah.
something like that. But for you listeners at home, it's my head on an adult body in a suit. I must be like 9 or 10 years old in this picture, but I'm shaking hands with President Bush. Good to meet you, Mr. Hannigan. I'm very proud that you will succeed me as president one day.
Yeah. Mission accomplished.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. I'm glad you mentioned that.
It gets
it's
rid
good-
of these fucking pictures after sometimes.
It's about time for you to gear up your campaign.
It is. It is.
It is.
Shit, man.
getting
Slam
there.
for president is like, I mean, you know, gosh, the next election is like 2 years away.
I know. I heard today Bernie Sandwich was redeclared. So
Bernie.
Wait, did he really?
yeah, seriously. Yeah, I heard
Good.
today he redeclared. Yeah.
Good.
Man, what do you think? Man,
What do you think is going to happen? I don't know. I have no idea.
Nothing good, though.
No.
Nothing good.
Hillary's gonna come back and be like, "Hey, everyone, it was so much fun last time. Let's try it again."
You're right. Let's shatter that glass ceiling and slit my throat with it, because
Oh, my God.
Lord knows it's not going to happen.
No, nothing good can happen. I don't even want to think about it. But but if you
Tim,
win,
who
that'd be
did you
nice.
pick as a running mate? Tim Gunn. I was going to say Tim
Gunn. Clinton Gunn 2020.
Let's make over this White House. I would vote for Tim Gunn. Have you ever seen him?
sure.
That is the sharpest dressed man I've ever seen in my life.
You know what? That's the thing is we really should treat this whole reality stars as presidents thing as a blessing, because we can look at President
Yeah.
we can look at President RuPaul in
Right.
like 2 years.
Hell yeah.
That could
Vote for
happen.
RuPaul.
I'd vote for RuPaul.
Gotta get head on
Yeah,
shoulders.
fuck it, right.
Yeah.
Oh man, reality stars as president. Why not? Like I don't know, an American Idol winner. Why not Ruben Studdard for
Yeah,
president?
there you go, right?
Yeah.
Clay Aiken.
He's a relatively sane person, right? Ruben Studdard.
Yeah, like that guy Puck, whatever from Real World, whatever that guy was.
yeah.
Someone just find him.
President Snooki.
President Situation.
I mean,
Do you think Wolf Blitzer would have to change the name of the Situation Room if that ever actually happened?
I don't know.
Because the Situation Room would just be the Oval Office.
It'd just be wherever the situation is.
It's like how any plane can be designated Air Force One if the president's on it.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Get off of my plane. I would vote for President Gunn.
Yeah, President Gunn would be all right.
How about Dwayne the Rock Johnson?
I feel like it's not
Yeah.
going to happen.
That's not going to happen. It's
No.
definitely not going to happen. But it's an interesting idea.
He cares too much about people to be an effective politician.
Sure. Yeah, that's probably true.
Gosh.
Also, he almost certainly took steroids. So, but
So?
he did not inject. He put the needle in. He did not inject.
Did not inject. No, he just liked the way the needle felt.
But it's pro wrestling, so what?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Can we
It's
talk
not,
about
it's
that?
not like you're competing for the fucking Super Bowl. Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
So fucking what? Who cares?
There's not an unfair advantage if the result is predetermined.
Right. I say, let everybody take steroids. Let's just fucking do it.
Fuck it, get me some steroids.
Yeah, let's do it. Fuck it.
We need to get jacked on this show.
You could go online and order HGH right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you really?
Well, it's not like the actual hormone, but you can get something that's totally legal that will naturally boost your HGH levels.
Muscle milk.
Yeah, muscle milk. No, it's a supplement that like fucking works. It will like actually boost your HGH.
You fucking kidding me?
I'm not fucking kidding you. It's expensive, but you can
Is
get
it
it.
legal?
It's legal. Yeah, it's because it's not the isolated hormone.
Yeah.
It's something that will boost your production of the hormone.
Will it turn all the fat into muscles?
It might.
All right.
It is like a huge weight loss thing. HGH. If you work out with it, it will help you drop weight.
Just like pictured if we were sitting around this table, but we were all just really stupid buff. It's like
Welcome back.
it's like picture it like just sweating constantly.
It's just funny. It's just like, well, let me tell you this.
Table
Put our
shatters.
big meaty forearms on the table.
Gonna pick up a beer and break it in half. That's so stupid.
Well, you see, Dave, the thing about Microsoft's policy is
It's really just about ethics in video game journalism.
I was playing Overwatch the other day, right?
Just like imagine like if we had like the stupid big buff bodies and like really deep voices, like all had like full like very large beards.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Morty.
Morty.
What a different show this would be.
Well, I mean, you could also take creatine to supplement your gains.
What would we call that?
I don't know, just three buff dudes.
The buff cast.
The buff cast. I just like picturing this is so silly to me. Like none of us can put our arms
Yeah,
down.
they're just constantly up, like in a Christmas story where he's got the jacket
Yeah.
on it. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, like your muscles are too big, they just bulge up.
We like can't get up the stairs. We have to go sideways. Three buff dudes.
Just go home, you crack 5 beers and drink them with your one meaty hand.
Right. Yeah. It's like palming 2 cans like that.
Face them.
Face them.
Oh my god.
We gotta get some HGH.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Level dub.
I always like finding a YouTube video that I haven't like those ones that you know what you want to see but you don't know what to search for.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Most recently it was that auto-tuned video of the like the DA from The Wire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going shit.
You know what's weirdest about that is like before they auto-tuned it, he still had to say shit like a really long time.
That's apparently I've never seen The Wire. It is The Wire,
Yeah,
right?
The Wire.
That he's from. I've never seen it. That's apparently like his catchphrase is just going shit.
I heard The Wire was like for a long time one of those shows like Breaking Bad where everybody told you need to watch the show. It's the best show ever. I watched the first episode of it and I was like, all right, okay.
Yeah.
Didn't grab me right away. I guess that's
Yeah.
the same case with any show though. You got to try.
Well,
And I
yeah.
never really tried.
Especially in well, it's different for like non-serial shows like Always Sunny.
Yeah.
If you like Always Sunny, you're gonna like it from the first episode.
Right.
I
Exactly,
think you're gonna
exactly,
get a
right.
feel for what it is, and you're gonna either like it or not like it.
They don't have to build that much.
Right. Dramas are
Yeah.
one of those things that you have to work up to.
Yeah.
Like I remember watching Better Call Saul and thinking like, we'll see,
Yeah.
It takes like 2 or 3 episodes and then you're there.
I say this about Star Trek Next Generation also. The first season is not indicative of the quality of the remainder of the series.
Right, right.
The first season,
It's weird.
One,
Yeah.
one of the characters perma dies in the first season.
Yeah.
One of the, there's a fucking there's a really borderline racist episode involving like 2 women fighting in a jungle gym with like mace hands.
Oh yeah.
They're
They're like ultra poisonous mace hands.
right.
Like,
yeah, and it's because the big black not Moroccan guy alien warlord wants Tasha Yar as his bride.
Yeah, right.
He wants his white bride, and so his current bride has to fight her. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Riker doesn't have the beard. You know.
Oh,
Giving rise to the trope name growing the
Growing
beard.
the beard. When the second season is when Star Trek kind of started to take off, but the third season is when it really gets good.
Yeah. As does the beard.
As does the beard.
Beard is great.
Yeah, all the characters get better as the series goes on. If you have the patience for the first season, watch it. If you don't, skip to season 2. You won't miss much that won't get recapped in season 2 onwards. You know.
Yeah. This reminds me, and I'm going to find it. I know this is not related, but I was recently on the Pareidolia subreddit, and there is a dog that looks exactly like Patrick Stewart.
Of course, there's a Pareidolia subreddit.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It looked exactly like Patrick Stewart.
If you're unfamiliar, pareidolia is the sensation where your brain constructs meaning out of meaningless stimuli. If you're driving around at night and you see what looks like a person, but on closer inspection it's just a shrub.
Yeah.
That's pareidolia.
Oh, okay.
It's the thing that makes Rorschach inkblot tests work.
this dog looks exactly
holy shit.
Oh my
like
God, he
fucking
does.
Patrick Stewart. Which is ridiculous. You know, I know this is terrible for the podcast, but whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to take our word for it. It's a smiling dog that looks like Patrick
It
Stewart.
just looks just
It's
like
got
him.
the way his eyes kind of, you know, he smiles with the lower lids very
Yeah.
heavily, you know.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. Anyway.
Anyway, speaking of things we lost, where my country done gone?
Where my country go?
Yeah.
You know what? Was it ever really there?
You know,
Post. No, you know what? I don't know. I don't have a good.
Well, that's the thing. I was talking with someone earlier today about how, like, you know, he mentioned that, you know, Americans just really hate each other.
Yeah.
Like our worst enemies are ourselves more often than not. And I brought up the point, like, you know, it's because most Americans come from some kind of cultural diaspora. You know how many of us in this room are like Irish or Eastern European or Italian, and you know our folks came over on the boats, you know, 150 years ago or whatever.
Sure.
You know, Black Americans, Hispanic Americans. You know, every most Americans come from some form of diaspora, and so as a result, there's no cohesive American cultural identity. Like if you ask a Frenchman what makes a Frenchman, he'll tell you.
Yeah.
And you might get similar answers from various Frenchmen. If you ask an American what makes an American, you'll get like 1,000 different answers.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny
true.
'cause, like, we can't even agree on like loving the one thing that, like, you should be able to count on is like, yes, well, the thing that ties us together is we like this place. We can't even agree on that.
Right.
Yeah.
We really
right.
fucking can't.
Yeah.
I was driving. This is funny you mentioned that because I was driving today and I was looking at, okay, how many neighbors of mine fly flags and how many don't?
Sure.
You know what I found out? 50-50.
Really?
It's like right down the middle. And I was like, of course. Like everything else, it's just like,
I tend to just like it doesn't even enter my consciousness when I see a flag anymore because they're all over the fucking place.
which does seem weird.
How many, you know, if you drive down, you know, some avenue in Paris, how many people do you think are hanging French flags out of their window or wearing it on their clothing regularly?
Yeah,
which
it's
I
weird.
recently read in the flag code, you're not supposed to do that.
yeah.
You're not supposed to wear the flag as part of your clothing or as an article of your clothing.
Right.
So people wearing, you know, bandanas or T-shirts or have it on their cars or whatever, you're not supposed to do that.
But if it has the Tasmanian devil on it, though, it's super
Sure.
cool.
Yeah, right.
Super
Sure.
cool. Or any
Yeah,
other
or if
Looney
it's
Tune.
Tweety Bird wearing an American flag bandana, which always confused the fuck out of
Yeah,
me.
right.
What are you saying to me with that fucking graphic? You know, what are you trying to convey to me here?
I don't know. It's like
these colors.
I'm a
don't
country
run-
girl, y'all.
It's like it's cool. Our flag's all right. It's cool. I just like
It's garish.
it's the blind flag worship.
Yeah, it's,
You know,
it's a
yeah,
little
like
weird.
it's weird. It's weird.
I think our flag is pretty garish, frankly.
yeah, it's all
I
right.
think it's too flashy.
It's
high
there's a lot.
contrast.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just not. It's not my thing.
If we designed a flag today, what would it be?
Giant middle finger with 2 nuclear explosions on each side.
That's
That's a really good answer.
AK-4. No, not an AK.
Yeah.
AR-15.
Yeah, an AR-15.
AR-15.
Yeah.
A picture of someone using the afterburners of an F-15 to grill burgers.
The official campaign flag of Tim the Jobs Man Taylor.
Tim the Jobs Man needs to come back, boys.
Yep. Instead of a flag, it's just pants.
Yeah, it's like it is a flag, but it's printed on pants, and you fly the pants on the flag.
Yeah. Our national motto would have to change from E pluribus unum to whatever the Latin is for salute your shorts.
Oh God.
It is weird that like there's so many flags around.
Yeah.
I have this blanket over here that's serving as a wall with a giant goddamn like bald eagle in front of a flag.
Yeah, but you bought that in jest.
I did buy that ironically.
Yeah, so-
I knew what I was doing.
and then you for some reason told the guy that you were an atheist, right? When you
Different
bought,
guy.
Oh, different guy.
Different guy. Well, he said something about like, oh God, I don't even know why that came up.
That's a good blanket.
He was kind of poking at me. This is a different guy.
Oh, okay.
He was like poking at me about something and said something about like God, something about God, and he was already kind of like needling at me about something, and I was like, I don't really believe in God.
Yeah.
Because it was like, this will end this conversation.
Yeah. Well, right. It will. It will real quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really believe in God.
Yeah.
There's
I like eat babies.
Yeah,
That's what I'm trying to say is I eat babies.
What's going on here is I don't believe in what you believe in, and I'm also a Satanist, so I'm like the direct opposite of what you believe in. I once dealt with someone who was trying to convert me into her church. It was a customer who was trying to give me the.
Oh, don't do that.
Right? Yeah, she was like, we finished, and she's like, "Have you?" This is how I ended this, and it fucking worked. I can't believe it. She's like, "Have you been saved by the risen Jesus?" And I said, "Yes, I have." I just went with it. I just followed that train. And she's like, "Oh, good. Where do you go?" And I, made something up. And I'm like,
All right.
Yeah,
Our Lady of Perpetual Torment.
right. Our Lady of get the fuck out of my store and please don't talk to me anymore.
Our Lady of Brief Discourse.
I just went with it. I just rode the wave, and everything she said, I just agreed with, and then it worked. It took the conversation was like a minute and a half after that, and then she left. She's like, "Nope, I don't have to. He's already good."
Yeah, he's good. I don't have to worry about his soul today.
Yep.
Right. I'm always honest with people now.
Yeah.
I'm always honest with people. I had the Jehovah's Witnesses come to the house the one time, and I was honest with them about it. They were like very polite about it.
Sure. Usually they are. Jehovah's Witnesses are genuinely usually pretty nice people.
I think they get a bad rap.
They get a bad rap. Yeah, they're usually pretty nice.
I think the only people for whom I fudge the truth a little are my clients, because I don't know how many of them know what atheism is or and I'm not gonna get into it with them. I'm not there to try and debate their beliefs or whatever. So I just say, well, I don't really go to church.
Yeah, right.
Which is true, technically.
Right.
And that just kind of says enough to where they're like, okay, most reasonable people go, well, that's the end of that conversation.
Sure, right.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, it's a good way to just kind of stop it.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what time are we at?
Yeah, where are we?
Well, I was just writing down Our Lady of Brief Discourse, so maybe we should take a break. Yeah, let's take a little break here and come back with our recommendations and what we learned.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? You good?
You good?
You good?
Let me ask you one question, Dave. Are you good?
Have you been saved by the risen Jesus?
Yeah.
Have you been saved by the erect Jesus?
I was saved by the dead Jesus.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the right response, isn't it? That's kind of the whole point of why he died.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. The pre-dead Jesus, no good.
Yeah.
Can't be saved by that one.
Yeah.
But the dead and after dead Jesus is fine.
Right.
Ah. All right. We'll take a break. We'll be right back in just a minute. Oh.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. You. Oh. Well, anyway.
Well,
Man, it is a sleepy episode.
It is
here.
a sleepy
It
episode.
is.
This is
What's
like
incidentally, what time are we at?
about an hour and a half.
Oh, we're good. This is a good note to call it early on. You know,
It's only 8:20.
that's it.
Yeah,
that's
That's it.
welcome back to Three Buff Fucking Guys. Oh. You guys like creatine? You guys like lifting shit and throwing it? Power bars.
Every meal I eat 8 pounds of macaroni with pork sausage.
You guys like pork sausage? Oh, that's stupid. It is time for us to talk about recommendations.
Yes.
It sure is.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding.
It sure is. Well, I guess I'll start.
Yeah, you start.
I got a recommendation. You might already know what it is because I won't shut up about it. Luke Cage on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you like the Marvel Cinematic Universe even a little bit, you'll be pleased to know that the Netflix Marvel universe, the Marvel Netflix universe, the universe of Marvel, which is set in Netflix and has its own continuity. Well, you'll be pleased to know it's in the same continuity. There are offhand references to the incident in New York as depicted in the Avengers.
Oh, that's cool.
There's some offhand references to the various heroes and whatnot.
Yeah.
But then the 4 Netflix shows, from what I understand, I haven't started on the other 3 yet, but they tie into each other: Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage, which is what I'm almost finished with right now.
This reminds me. What's the situation with Punisher?
I don't know.
I know they were making a show, and I know that Shane from The Walking Dead was playing the Punisher.
Yeah,
Fucked your wife.
that's also that is also on there. I haven't watched it yet though, but I know he's not part of the Defenders. The Defenders are just
Okay, yeah.
Jones, Daredevil, Fist, and Cage.
Okay.
But Luke Cage, for if you're not up on your comics, Luke Cage is bulletproof and he has super strength. He's gone through several iterations throughout Marvel's history. He first appeared in the 70s when big time blaxploitation films were a thing, and so Luke Cage was essentially he was a hero for hire. He would go out and beat some motherfuckers up if you paid him enough.
Yeah.
He spoke in jive. He was certainly maybe not the best step forward for black superheroes of the time, but as the years have gone on, the character of Luke Cage has evolved and grown. Yeah. But that experience of that he's a black American, that experience is kind of central to his character, his blackness, if you will.
Yeah,
is a very central part of Luke Cage's character. So the entirety of as far as I can tell, the Luke Cage series is set in Harlem.
Okay.
Specifically in Harlem. There's some political machinations at work, and Luke Cage, meanwhile, is an everyman. Just kind of working to survive.
Yeah.
He also happens to be bulletproof and
Just so happens
and
to be.
can punch through concrete walls and shit like that. He happens to be. It's explained in the show how he got those powers. Yeah. So it starts off. He's sweeping hair at a place called Pop's Barbershop.
Oh. I was like, I don't know why. I was like, what in the world happened? Okay, I can't explain to you what happened in my head there, but I was just like, why would he be sweeping hair? Like, that's the thing that never happens for some reason. That really confused me.
There's basically only one explanation that makes sense for that.
Why is there a black man sweeping hair at a barbershop in Harlem? He wondered.
I get the barbershop now. I don't know what. Just I'm a fucking idiot.
Well, because he's not a superhero yet. He's got the powers of one, but he doesn't want any part of whatever trouble's happening. But as is the case when trouble comes knocking, Luke Cage is a good man who wants
stand
to
up, dude.
Help his people, help his community, help his friends. And so he steps up when the time comes, and it is awesome.
Nice.
I have always really, really liked Luke Cage and really, really wanted a Luke Cage series for a long time. And when Netflix started doing it, it sadly took me way too long to watch because I had like 5 other shows I was watching at the time.
Yeah.
But now I've sat down and watched it, and again I'm most of the way through, and it is awesome. If you want to get deeper into the Marvel universe and check out some more stuff, Luke Cage is a good starting point. I'm sure the other 3, because people love them. I'm sure the other 3 Defenders being very well received. I'm sure I'll recommend those to you in the future. People especially really, really seem to love Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
And-
Jessica Jones is cool.
Yeah.
And so that might be what I do next.
It's good.
But yeah, check out Luke Cage. It's on Netflix. It's gonna be there probably forever.
You gotta love Netflix making cool Marvel stuff,
Yeah.
right?
The fact that it all ties in.
Yeah.
It's since it's all because the Defenders I think exclusively takes place in New York City alone. meanwhile, you've got the larger scale MCU, which takes place around the world and sometimes on other planets.
Yeah.
So, it all kind of ties together. And, meanwhile, while the Avengers are out doing all this cosmic shit, there's still, there's awful people here on Earth that need dealt with.
Yeah, right.
Hence, the Defenders.
Yeah.
Sticking up for humanity's home turf.
Yeah. That's sweet. I didn't realize they all took place in New York, and I like anything that takes place in New York, generally speaking.
As far as I'm aware, all 4 Defenders series take place in New York City.
Yeah. Jessica Jones definitely does. Yeah.
A lot of the main MCU is also New York Central. Avengers Tower is in New York City.
Yeah.
At some point they moved their home base upstate. So it's it's well outside New York, but yeah, so it's a lot of it, it's the place, it's the when you want to set a movie in the big, the rough and tumble big city, you pick New York.
Yeah.
It's good and familiar to a lot of people. But yeah, Luke Cage, check it out if you want some bulletproof, thug smashing action with some great fucking music.
Yeah.
Check out Luke Cage.
Sweet.
It's a good recommendation.
I really want to watch some with you guys because I want you guys to geek out with me about some of these scenes because oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should watch some. We should.
Yeah. Why don't maybe tonight we can watch episode 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think into it.
If you can handle some forced sounding small talk about basketball early on in the first episode, then
It's playoff time, so I've been having to hear that already in my regular life. So,
And I'm gonna say it again. I don't give a fuck
dude,
about
it's not
basketball.
good. It's not a very good sport, man. It's just not very good.
it's a great sport to be able to play.
Sure,
but
yeah.
I don't know.
But only play.
You can score too often in it. Man.
Yeah, right.
Stupid.
Called the homies up and I'm asking y'all, which park are y'all playing basketball?
And I'm axing y'all.
Yeah, asking y'all. Yeah.
What park are y'all playing basketball?
Right. Get me on the court and I'm trouble.
Fucked around last week. Got a triple double.
Man, I never know what you guys are talking about.
Right. I have 2 recommendations.
That I found out recently was an Isley Brothers song.
Oh, was it really?
Footsteps in the Dark.
Yeah.
That sample. Bam, bam, bam.
Nice. Ah, God, there's nothing better than good sampling. There's a Biggie song called "Kick in the Door," and it starts with the riff to "I Put a Spell on You." Bump, 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 and bump.
Yes. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, fucking killer. We'll have to look that one up too. I have 2 recs this week. The first one I've been talking about on the show. If you have a PlayStation and you don't have God of War yet, you need to go out and buy God of War. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Everybody who was talking to me about this game said, oh, dude, literally everybody said the same thing. It's like, dude, it's the best game I've ever played. It's really good. Everybody said it's like incredible. So the hype for this was real, and I'm fucking Mr. Picky when it comes to shit. I haven't been playing video games for a while. So like, I don't have cable right now. So it's just internet and games, and that's going to be how I have to occupy my time, for the time being.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing is playing God of War. I just got it yesterday and I just cracked it in. I'm like, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours in.
Yeah.
And I'm not even fucking close. I just like got out of the beginning part of the game like just recently, and I'm now like in the main hub world where I can go explore around everywhere.
You sent us a picture of this game the other day.
It's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
And I was trying to explain it to someone, and I sounded like such an old idiot. Because I'm like, he's like talking to a turtle mountain. It's like a turtle mountain. It's a mountain that's a turtle. And he's got something in front of him. It was just like, you know what? What the fuck? Why even bother trying to...
Good old Spartan boy, Kratos.
Yeah.
He comes up, he dunks it in, he puts the sword right in the... Look at that, he just puts it right in there.
He cut it in.
Put it in, boys.
It's you're at that. That's not just a turtle mountain tree thing.
Yeah.
That's a house. That's a witch's house.
Isn't it a turtle?
In the
It's a
middle of the
turtle.
witch's
It's
house.
almost certainly a turtle.
Still doing it.
She casts a spell and she rises this thing up from the ground so they can enter her house. Which
too
is a
fucking
turtle.
cool. That's
yeah,
too
it's
cool.
fucking killer. I showed you the cutscene with the serpent.
Yeah.
The world serpent who you have to get him to wake from his slumber in the lake to drain the lake because he's pushed it up so far past all the statues. You can't travel anywhere until you wake up the serpent, who very terrifyingly wakes up and then rises in front of you.
So cool.
This is what I really love about video games is like you kind of get the freedom to render and portray whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
In famously in Supernatural, you know, there's aliens and demons and the apocalypse, and there's all these minor gods that show up at one point. There's like Odin and Freya and like all these other but they never do anything too grandiose. So most of the time, these beings are represented as just dudes either in like ratty leather jackets or in fancy suits.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. But then, like, you know, when you get to take the mythology like really literally, and you know, when you hear Jormungandr and you're like, oh, you know, giant world serpent, it literally is a gigantic fucking world serpent.
Yeah, it's terrifying. But yeah, like, to give everybody an update on God of War, because I never really had a PlayStation. Like all my PlayStation experiences were with friends, so I'd seen God of War before, and it looked cool, but I never played it. The story of God of War is basically what Kratos is a Spartan who was tricked by Ares into killing his wife and his daughter
in a blind bloodlust.
Yes, so he seeks revenge upon Ares, and
that's why his skin is white. Those are their ashes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Badass. Yeah. But he goes on this rampage of, you know,
getting the favor of the gods, so he can get strong enough to kill Ares. To kill a god,
which he does eventually. The entire series is him just kicking the fucking shit out of gods. That's what you do. You kill Ares and become the god of war.
Yeah.
And then I've never played 2 or 3, but that's after you, like the end of the first game is you succeed. You kill Ares and become the god of war.
Right.
So I don't know what the other 2 are about, but by that time Kratos is already a god.
I believe it's him taking revenge on all of the gods in general and just basically killing everybody. I think in 3 you have to defeat Zeus. From the videos that I've seen, that looks incredible.
Nice.
So God of War, which is actively it's basically God of War 4. It takes place in Midgard. Ares, or at the end of 3, I guess what happens is Kratos, battered and bloody, leaves and is presumably off somewhere. He's retiring as a demigod, as a god.
And I would assume with all of the Greek gods dead, like ancient Greek civilization starts to crumble and becomes a shadow of its former self.
One would presume. So he is in Midgard when we pick up at this game, and he is remarried, had remarried, and has a son who is named Boy. Boy. No, Atreus. His name is Atreus, who is affectionately referred to as Boy throughout the entire series. I don't know if in any part of the other games it's revealed that he has this other wife and this other son, because the game basically is it starts with your second wife is dead, and you're literally the first opening menu screen is him with his axe, and then you hit start for new game, and he swings the axe and chops down a tree, and it's trees that were marked for her funeral pyre. So the game opens with you burning your wife on a funeral pyre, and then
Kratos ain't having much luck with this fucking marriage thing.
He's not. But
Jesus Christ.
But he is the god of war, so you know it's like
correct.
you know, we get a little of this, a little of that.
So the entire set off point for this is you and your son Boy are traveling to the tallest peak in Midgard to scatter her ashes. He's scoops them up in a bag and then they set off. The son is not ready, but something happens at the beginning. I showed you part of it. They are confronted by a mysterious stranger who gets into a fight with Kratos, which is the first boss fight in the game, and a lot of the first real combat that you experience in the game is this epic 25-minute long, insanely detailed, epic scale boss fight. And then you set off from there. And I like I said, I'm 5 hours into this fucking insane open world game, and I haven't even scratched it. I
Yeah.
mean, like it is everything it's God of War, so it has a lot of hype to live up to. Everything in this game is big, very, very large scale,
scale.
enormous.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel forced. Not only is everything very big, we were actually watching Donkey's video earlier where he talks about these large scale maps that are just serving as a backdrop and aren't necessarily super interactive.
Yeah.
Everything in this game is interactive. If you can really see it, except for maybe some of the back pieces that are like way off in the back, pretty much as
Yeah.
far as you can look, you can go. And there is a lot to do. Play it in 4K HDR if you can. Oh my God, it's
I want to see that game on your TV.
it's the best looking game I've ever played.
Yeah.
It's actually the best looking game I've ever played. Not only that, it controls very tight. There's this.
Good.
You can throw your axe at enemies, or just to solve puzzles, you can wing your axe out, and then you can hit the triangle button, and it will snap back into your hand like Thor's hammer, which is fucking cool.
just an awesome mechanic.
Yeah, and, you know, it's God of War, so all the insane, you know, combos that you can string together, you know, you're encouraged to do so
Yeah.
in bloody, disgusting detail. So check that game out. If you have a PlayStation 4 and you don't have it yet, you're just doing it wrong. You're not video gaming correctly.
Right.
My second recommendation is going to be a little more brief. I recommend that if you haven't, or if you have and you haven't done it so in a while, go back through and watch Trailer Park Boys. I started from the beginning again, and I just been like recycling through all the old episodes of Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
I did the first 2 seasons a long time ago, and I still haven't finished it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be something. It's all on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
of it. Like all, what are they, 12, 13 seasons at this point? Because it went
Yeah,
away and then
something
came
like-
back.
God Almighty.
Netflix did Netflix dropped their 3rd season
Yeah.
recently, right?
Yeah.
And before that, they were on Showcase, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Canadian TV.
Yeah, Canadian HBO. But yeah, it's you know, it's kind of hard to explain Trailer Park Boys unless you watch it. It really picks up, particularly starting in season 2.
Yep.
Season 1 is just kind of like introducing you to everybody, and then season 2, it just gets better. Every season is better than the last season.
Well, they spend like a whole season building up all these characters in their universe and sort of laying the groundwork for some great gags that keep coming back.
Yes, yeah. Ricky-isms are a great thing. All the joke being that Ricky is too stupid to know how standard expressions work, or always he keeps referring to his brain as his brain compartments or his brain department.
One time he called it the thing up there.
The thing up there, yeah, right.
up there.
Then you get like great one-liners like, "Come on, Bubs, let's go get 2 birds stoned at once."
Yeah.
Oh God,
The thing about the show is it's so hard to explain to people why it's good.
It's not rocket appliances.
No, yeah, it doesn't take rocket appliances to figure that one out.
It's like it's hard to pitch to people. Oh, it's a show about a bunch of dummies that smoke dope, and then they're battling a guy who's drunk all the time. Like,
Right.
It's like the adult Canadian Ed and Eddie.
Kind of, yeah. That's pretty accurate representation. Yeah. The trailer park supervisor Jim Leahy and his assistant trailer park supervisor Randy Bobandy.
Bobandus.
The John Dunsworth, rest in peace, playing one of the greatest drunks ever portrayed on screen.
Yep.
Just incredible. It's hard to explain if you've never watched it before, but
It always sounds so dumb.
it does. Well,
It sounds dumb.
It's the first time somebody explained it to me, it sounded really fucking dumb. And then I remember Alec and I were at your house one night.
Yeah.
And we watched Trailer Park Boys for like 3 hours on your back patio on your laptop.
Oh yeah.
And it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like it gets you right back into it. So
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of the Netflix seasons.
They get a little weird, but they're still good.
Oh, I don't care if it's.
I really would seriously describe it conceptually as a cross between Ed and Eddie, Always Sunny, and Cops.
Kind of, yeah. They're
Yeah.
It's
the arc in the early seasons at least is that it starts, every season opens with them getting out of jail, and every season ends with them going back to jail. And then when the reboot comes along, every season ends with them. Everything is okay. Like everything looks really good. And then, as I understand it, at the start of every season, here's how everything got fucked up after last season. So the gag reverses, which is really funny.
Oh my god, it's so much fun. Like basically every season ends with them in jail.
You're right.
Every season, like it's going there.
Right. You just don't know how.
How they get there is amazing.
I would say my favorite season is the hash driveway season, where they have all this stolen hash and they can't hide it from Leahy and Randy. So the best way they figure is to like burn it down into like tar and pave a driveway with it. And they're like, is this like seeds of like Ricky ripping it off of the driveway and rolling a joint with it?
God, I want to watch that again.
Yeah, that's the famous I Am the Liquor season.
Yeah.
But yeah, check out Trailer Park Boys if you haven't done it. Nobody can explain it to you. You kind of just have to get in there and watch it.
It really is that good.
It really is that good. It's great comedy, consistently funny, and it gets better. as you
Probably
watch it.
among the top 10 things Canada has given the world.
Right up there with Rush and Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah. Poutine.
Poutine. Oh fuck yeah,
Yeah,
poutine.
we haven't had poutine in a while.
Oh man, we should do that. It's cup final time. We gotta
William
get on that.
Shatner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't even pretend like that's a question.
So I'll give you a quick, simple recommendation. My recommendation is to take care of a thing.
Oh.
Pick a thing and take really good care of it.
I have this wicked boner right now.
Got something I can do with that? You know what I'm talking about?
Something that I'm not already taking care of.
Yes, I'm saying this because it's springtime again, and I like it's been doing a lot of good for me in a lot of ways to be out of the house more. And in particular, taking care of the lawn and taking care of, I got this cherry tree that Christy brought to me, which I love my cherry tree.
It's been completely Washington proofed.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No Washington's getting this boy. Yeah. It's so like, between the lawn and the my cherry tree and I got these beautiful petunias that are in these coconut baskets.
Beautiful.
And my grapevine is coming back to life.
Yeah.
And I'm finding a lot of...
I heard that actually in passing conversation.
What's that?
that your grapevine was doing well. I may have overheard it from someone in passing discourse.
He was standing.
Oh my god!
He was standing behind.
I bet
the
you're wondering
grapevine.
how I knew. that your grapes were nice and grew.
That went way over my head.
I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you to pick up on
I was
that.
like, why is he saying it like that? But no, it's been meaningful to me, and it's been like making me feel really good to take care of these few things.
Yeah.
And to see them doing better.
I got to smell that sweet basil you were growing. It just brought back so many memories.
Yeah,
Basil.
We can't wait to plant the garden. I'm only holding out for like just in case there's any more frost, but I don't think we're gonna have any.
I don't think so.
Well, when just in case gets here, he should apologize for making you wait so long.
The first thing I'm doing, incidentally, when I get paid this week, is going to the store to buy spice. I want to do a spice garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I have more room and sunlight where I'm at right now. So
I was doing a little research today. I've been wanting to grow mint. Turns out that motherfucker's like a weed. It will take the fuck over if you don't have it self-contained.
I think I might have told you if you do that, just plant it in its own container.
Right.
Yeah. It'll be fine. It'll grow like crazy.
Yeah. I've been reading about that. Like they even recommend if you're planting it in an open garden, put it in a clay pot and then even wrap that up with like foil or something.
Yeah.
Beyond that, and then then stick that whole thing in the ground.
Yeah. It can be very invasive.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just
Not
like
necessarily a bad thing, I suppose.
yeah, sure, yeah, right. You
can-
want it, yeah.
Unless you're trying to grow other shit, then it becomes an awful problem.
right. I mean, you don't want it to choke out the other things you want to grow.
Right.
But no, it's just been very meaningful to me, and it's been like something that I'm like feeling proud of. So pick a thing. Doesn't have to be a nature thing. Could be anything really, and just take better care of it than you normally do.
Yeah.
And appreciate the feeling of like taking care of a thing.
What about my foreskin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it a little extra TLC,
Dude, you got to peel it back sometimes and scrub that fucker.
Yeah.
Just roll it between your fingers, and
And I'll be taking care of foreskin every day.
yeah. So anyway, that's my rec. Did we learn anything this episode?
Did
At
we?
all?
I don't know. I learned that the customer is basically always wrong.
I learned that from my survey of one person, extra thick mayo is a hard pass. I have no circled.
Yeah. I learned that Nosferatu is going to make vampires great again.
Yeah.
It's about fucking time.
Sure.
I learned that Bill Nye is timeless even if he is stuck in 1996.
Yeah.
I wrote, "May you never lose your bear."
Aw.
I learned because I've never sat down and watched an extensive amount of the show that Cotton is apparently the best character on King of the Hill.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're going to have to dig into King of the Hill sometime.
We're gonna find the best of Cotton or something on YouTube.
I'm going to show you guys if I can find the story of him killing Fitty Men. It's really funny. I learned that I just wrote the Buff Fest, the Buff Cast.
The buff
I wrote
cat.
3 buff dudes.
The Buff Cast, welcome back. This is a segment we call Sweatin' and Gainin'.
And now for 30 seconds of uninterrupted staring and sweating.
Anything else we have here?
I just wrote down Our Lady of Brief Discourse, which I thought was pretty good.
I wrote We Sleepy. Let's wrote We Sleepy.
We
We
sleepy.
sleepy, man.
Yeah.
Sleepy babies.
Yeah, I don't got anything
I think
else.
we're good.
Well, that'd do it. That'd do it for another Dude Cast.
That'll do her.
We will see you next week when we are super jacked and swole and have nothing but powders and mixes to talk
The
about.
Buff Cast.
Hell yeah.
See you next
Hashtag
week.
Buff Boys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.